My name is Casey Grimes, and my family and I've been going to Velocity for several months now. And we found Velocity by doing a web search. We looked at all the churches in the Richmond area and found Velocity that way. I was raised in a very strict Southern Baptist home in Arkansas. And about 14, 15 years old, I rebelled in a great way. I ran away from home and ended up in Houston. And that's where I picked up drinking and drugs and all the stuff that I struggled with later on in life. So before I met Jesus, my life was a train wreck, pretty much. A very long wreck that lasted into my early 30s. And I was a musician, so I was around a lot of different things that were conducive to a bad lifestyle. And I really struggled with believing that there was a God at all. I was a studied atheist for many, many years and would argue the point with my family or with anybody who wanted to argue that. Inside, I was struggling with depression, of course, addiction to alcohol and drugs. And it was a tough time. I was going to go into rehab, but all the rehabs were full. So I couldn't go into rehab, so I had to do something. So I didn't believe in God, so I prayed to God. I told him, I said, if you'll help me with this, I'll do whatever it is you want me to do. So I had tried AA and everything up until then, but I was able to at least maintain not getting too terribly sick. So I decided to stay with my family to get through the worst of the withdrawal. And God miraculously took away my craving for alcohol and drugs. And it was truly a miracle because I had honestly tried to do that several times over the span of many years and failed. And I've been sober now for over 10 years and went through the Alcoholics Anonymous program. My higher power was Jesus. And that's where I dove into the Bible a lot more, started reading the red letters, what Jesus said, and started reading the big book a lot. And my life changed greatly. Getting rid of the booze and the drugs and following Jesus, it got me a lot more than I ever anticipated, that's for sure. So I'm heavily grace reliant, and but that's cool because it's what Jesus did for us. So yeah, don't be afraid to make a change. Don't be afraid to admit that you failed. It's completely okay. I mean, the good thing is you know, now that I was honest with myself, I don't have anything to hide. I can, I'm an alcoholic. I struggle with drugs, but I've been 10 years sober because of admitting failure and seeking help and having those relationships.